Hi guys, welcome back to another quick card pull. This is from the Crow Insight Oracle cards. I feel like this is like kind of where a lot of people are, where they were showing the moon card last week, and I was like, they're calling back in friendships. They're calling back in people that you resonate with, really. You know what I mean? That are your tribe, and it's like calling back in your tribe, and you guys feed off each other. Like, like one of my girlfriends, it's like I haven't talked to her in a bit, and like, but it's like, no time has gone by, and we're reminiscing and talking about things going on now, but like we were saying, like our pops are running parallel, you know what I mean? And it's like nice encouragement, and I love the fact that like with this friendship card there's two crows. So I always see crows in pairs or threes, more so threes than anything. Has been very strong with the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, the Holy Trinity. We are coming up to Easter and Palm Friday and Easter Sunday, these significant days, Easter Monday. But anyone that, on a spiritual level, that besides the Easter bunny and the eggs and toys and stuff, it's nice though, you know what I mean, to have that kind of thing, in lives. I still do with my kids, it's just like, it's just like a nice little, to sit there and buy things and just be like, I'm thinking of you and love you, proud of you, give them a little treat, you know what I mean? This is a big, big transformative year for us. And a lot of people, the year of the lunar, fiery horse, where it's just like passion, what your passion is, what lights your fire, what it is, why you are so fiery, because like, that's your, depending on who you are, everybody's different, but when you're, your passion, your fire is for your family, it's like you build up your home, you know what I mean? So it's just like, they're talking about like a kiln, making things stronger. But, life, friendship, like crows, form lifetime bonds, cherish the friendship that brings life to light to your life. So one of the things was like talking about that I posted was like, leaving little gifts out for the crows. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I do that. Like, I got in trouble for it because my neighbor is such a ding dong, but it is what it is. And I'm just like being sneaky about it. I'm sure he sees them still and he's just like cursing me, but I don't really care. I'm just like, you know what? I'm called, I have a bond with them like for the longest time, so it's just like, I leave little treats out for them. And the squirrels benefit and the blue jays. So, everyone benefits. Just making sure that I'm pulling these in the right order. But like transformation, I love this clock. I have a clock like this in the living room. It's like that song Clocks by freaking Coldplay. I was just listening to Coldplay's Yellow on Thursday or Friday. But transformation, you know what I mean? I feel like, honestly, I was talking to my girlfriend about that. I was like, I swear, I go downstairs and like before, it's like, I would come down 5 minutes before my shift, and it's like, the clock's trying to tell me it took me 4 minutes to walk down like, 8 steps. I'm like, are you serious? Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, for real? Like, you're playing with me, you know what I mean? I was just whatever. But it's like transforming your belief system, your friendship circle, who you let play, like, you know what I mean? It's like, you burned me once, I am not letting you in my life. Like, there's certain circumstances, it's just like, you gotta sit there and, act like an adult and be professional and stuff like that. But it's like, we're not friends. You know what I mean? Oops. If I didn't have to deal with you, I wouldn't, you know what I mean? So it's just like where Anastasia was showing us the freeze them out spell, you know what I mean? And I'm like, this bee is getting close to that. Like, I'm gonna get some cloves and freaking, she's like, put some chili peppers and stuff in there. I'm like, I'm about to, ignite some kitchen magic on this bitch's ass. Like, I'm getting sick of it. You know what I mean? I'm just like, leave me the F alone. I love vision. And it's like, visions are strong right now. The energy is building up. We're getting into the full moon, which will be on April 2nd. I feel like still there's this, Wednesday, April 1st is the first day of Passover. This, I don't remember what today is. I have to look on the calendar. I think it's no, it's not Ash Wednesday. I know they were doing Lent because I watched Masses for Shut-ins, and I know this Sunday is significant. I have this pressure, whatever nonsense going on. I'm starting to drain now, so if I can't think clearly, I apologize. But It's like clarify your vision of the future. I'm like, those that can see, let them see. Those that can hear, let them hear. This is leveling up. This is not an earthly level. This is 3D, 5D. They're showing 5D. So maybe you're in the 3D and now you're lifted up to the 5D. So, you know, that's why I'm like, look, like there's a door. It's like you're opening up to this new portal, this new dimension, this, you know, this new level of life. You know what I mean? This is what this whole year is about. You know, and it's not just, I know, like, I can't believe it's already April, but it's just like, you know what I mean? I'm like, were we just in January? Like, you know what I mean? So, I don't know, man. I don't know. But I'm grateful for the sunshine being out, you know? Love the sunshine. I love my flowers. But vision, pay attention. It's like, I feel like this is your dream wake state. So keep your paper and pen handy because I feel like you're going to get some potent messages in. Like literally yesterday, so many messages. 2 eagles in the sky. We were by the tracks and, you know, seeing CN vehicles. You know what I mean? That we saw the moving trucks. Like, you know, U-Haul. Like one of the girls were like, you're going to start seeing, what's her name? Jen, the alchemist, I think her name is. I gotta start writing these girls' names down. There's this incoming energy which I don't appreciate or like of jealousy. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I work hard for myself and my family. I don't sit there and compare myself to others because at the end of the day, we are an individual and that's how we are graded and everything at work. You know what I mean? But it's just like, I'm not trying to be a lead. I'm not trying to this, that, the other. You know what I mean? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, do the best I can. Always try to, you know, get perfect QAs and all this stuff. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? It's like I was helping out a person and we got something new and I said, hey, you need to do the step 2, step 3. Nope. And then they were talking garbage about me and they accidentally sent it to me. And I'm just like, okay, never helping you again. You know what I mean? I'm just like, on with you. You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't give my energy who don't deserve it. But, you know what I mean? It's just, they ended up apologizing days later. But my point is, I'm just like, you know, and I was kind, I was cordial, you know what I mean? I'm professional, like, I'm not, like, I'm not a child, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, you showed me your true colors, and that literally was playing while we were heading to my sister's this weekend, and I'm just like, you showed me your true colors, and I'm not forgiving that, you know what I mean? That was shown to me for a reason, so I was like, I'm not gonna go out of my way to be like, hey, you need, you know, this is what you need to follow, or this is what you need to post or email or whatever. I'm not doing none of that. I'm just like, nope, not my circus, not my monkeys. You know what I mean? It's just like, you know, you're asked to help out, you help out the best you can, and then that happens. So it is what it is. Just keep moving forward. But again, it's like a group, it's like a ringleader kind of energy, and it's just like the best way to do that is not feed the energy. You know what I mean? You just do your thing. That's it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You can either let this affect you in a negative way, or you can sit there and be like, okay, they showed me. They don't deserve my help. They don't deserve my energy. That's that. You know, move forward. So it's like, you know, like I said, if it keeps happening, because this is not the first instance, this person is very confrontational. It's like, I will ice your ass. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, I don't like doing that stuff. And I feel like this is where the abundance comes in, where it's like, those that could see, let them see. Those that could hear, let them hear. And I feel like it's like, if you put your energy into the right things, it's like you will grow in the right areas of your life. So like that situation, it's like, I'm not putting my energy into that because it doesn't deserve it. You know what I mean? So it's just like, you know, she apologized, you know, the one apologized that was talking shit about me. And, you know, she just is like, you know, and I always said, like, you know, it's new and da-da-da-da. Like, you know what I mean? Like I said, I was not going to be rude. You know what I mean? And it's like, move forward. But again, I'm not going out of my way. But it looks like it's trying to be like a herd mentality. And I'm like, nope. They're like, shut that shit down. And it's like, I ain't shut. You know what I mean? But the way that I shut it down is I don't give it energy. I suffocate it. You know what I mean? How do you ignite a fire? You give it more air. Give it more wind. You know? And you suffocate it, it goes out. They want to waste their energy, go for it. I love how it's like the stature. Like that was like with the animal spirit cards that we pulled from on Friday. I believe, well, Thursday, Friday. But embrace abundance through gratitude and openness. blessings and opportunities. And this is the big and small, no matter what it is. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like some people are like, oh, because of this. It's like if you keep seeing things in life like that, you will never be grateful for the blessings that are going on. You know what I mean? Like, I literally didn't even know that I dropped my glasses. I thought it was a pen because I keep my pen and paper by my bed. And I don't even know how it fell on the floor, but it ended up being my glasses that I ended up putting this on my headboard in a glass dish where I put my jewelry. So it wasn't next to the bed. So I don't know how it came there, but it just bended so crazily. And I'm just like, no, nope. So I tried to fix them myself. And then I was just like, the amount of money I was going to spend to fix them, probably, like for them to even look at them and then fix them. And because they were bent pretty good. And I was just like, might as well, thankfully, get another pair, and clearly had 50% off. And I was just like, there you go. You know, like, I don't like wasting money on stuff, especially, like, you know what I mean? Like, I even had the glasses for 2 years. I'm pissed off, but it's just like, you know, what are you going to do? You know what I mean? Like, I wore my contacts until they were ready because I'm sure everybody was like, oh, you know, like, new glasses, why not? Like, I got extra thinning on my lenses because I've been wearing glasses since as long as I can remember, you know what I mean? Like in grade school. So it's just like, you know, in contacts, but I was wearing my contacts and we went up in hours at work and it was just like, oh, like I could just feel it in my head. I'm just like, oh, I put castor oil on my eyelids every single night. And that was like, I was putting eye drops in and everything. I was just like, nope, no bueno. So, you know what I mean? It's like, I was just grateful that worked out. I got the discount. It took a little longer because, you know, obviously everybody was ordering them. But I was just grateful when I got them. I'm like, yes, like I can wear them. Like, even like we went out yesterday. I'm like draining now from this, whatever I had. And I was just like, oh, I was like, let me just close my eyes. I did devotion. I was like, let me just close my eyes. I'll get up, do the dishes and get some stuff done. Like, you know. I was probably going to lay down further, and then my kids were like, oh, you know, da-da-da-da. I'm like, okay, fine. Got up and did things, but I took my contacts out and I put my glasses on. I'm just like, you know what I mean? It's like, you don't realize what a relief it is to take those out, especially when you're under the weather or something, and it's like, you can rest your eyes. Especially, you know what I mean? When you have a cold, it's like the last thing. But now I feel like it would be better. I don't know. The pressure is better, but I don't know. It's like when you have sinus pressure or if you have bad allergies, you know what I'm talking about. When you have your glasses on, it just adds pressure to your face. Manifestation, they were saying that some things may not resonate with us anymore, and it's like kind of fallen to the wayside. I kind of was like this when I was doing my vision board, and I was like, you know, the Torah is at the top, and I'm like, this is the strongest I've been in 9 years. I don't know if I would want to move forward with this. I feel like, you know, I've read it a couple, you know, I've read the Torah. I believe this is my 6th time. Maybe not my 6th, maybe my 4th. Maybe my 4th reading it. But I was just like, you know what I mean? But I kept reading it. I'll say, well, we'll see what happens, right? And then it's like saying grace. My son always reminds me, thankful God for him, man. Like he always keeps me humble. He's like, remember to thank God for the groceries that just came in. Be thankful for bills being paid. Be thankful for like the food we're about to eat. So it's like came across this prayer in Hebrew, and I was just like, okay, so trying to remember to do that. You know what I mean? But it's just like even Anastasia, when she first came across my For You page, I was like, is this AI or is this a girl legit? And then I started following her, and I was like, okay, we'll see what happens. And then she was posting, unfortunately, some, you know, situations. They had a tornado in their area and stuff like that. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was just like, okay, you know, and it's like, those are the people that are relatable, because it's like, they talk about real things, like real life. Like, I know some people think like when you talk about real situations, you're trying to talk about yourself, and it's like, not really. It's like, I went through this, that they're bringing this up. It's like, maybe that may resonate with you. Maybe that may give you some hope. You know what I mean? But it's just like changing the way we talk, changing the way that we manifest, changing the way that we see things. You know what I mean? Because a lot of us, like even Pastor Mike was talking about that. It's like, we're not broke, we're pre-rich. It's like changing the way we change our words. Like, even if you had a bad dream, you wake up and you're still grateful. You know what I mean? Even if it was not the best day, still go to bed grateful. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, God forbid, like the state of the world, you know what I mean? Try not to bring that crap in, because like we got a lot going on. Um, you know, it's like you try to make the most out of every day. You can't make it about doom and gloom all the time. You know what I mean? Because you start going down that rabbit hole, it's sometimes, especially if you are prone to depression, it's like, you know what I mean? Don't fill your life full of that garbage. Maybe you're new to manifesting. Anastasia is a great person to follow. She's got great energy. She's honest. She's authentic. That's what the kind of people you want to be following. 1515. That number keeps going up. But, you know what I mean? They're mentioning the fall. Write down fall. 2027. 2028. See what happens there. The biggest thing is patience. You know me. If you've been following me for a while, you know I'm not exactly the most patient person ever. But I try to be. Like, my kids are trying to teach me to be more patient. And you know what I mean? It's just sometimes I'm a problem solver. And it's like I like to solve it at that time where I have the energy and the time and everything like that. But sometimes, you know what I mean? It's just trusting. Like, especially with that situation, you know what I mean? That came up. Someone threatened us. And I just looked up to the sky and I said, God, I don't know what's going to happen in this situation, but I trust that you have this all figured out. Even like coming on the other side of things of Shane's passing, it's like we had no idea what was going to happen. No idea. You know what I mean? And it's like so thankful 9 years later, like reading some of the things I read in the support group, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, you know what I mean? Like, has not been easy. It's been a challenge. It's been a struggle. It's been a battle, but we make the most out of every situation, out of every day. And thankfully, we are still united that's one thing I'm always say morning and night. Thank you for keeping us united as a family, because you know what I mean? Like, without family, what the heck do you have besides your faith? You know what I mean? It's just, they keep you grounded. They keep you laughing. They keep you, reasons for living, reasons for laughing, reasons for celebrations. You know what I mean? It's just like your family is what makes life. We keep getting wisdom. So this is where I was saying, maybe as yourself, maybe these are things that resonate with you, patience. Maybe you're starting to manifest and you're like, or even myself, it's like not seeing it turn about, but it's like, nothing is ever promised. It's like, oh, you do this today on this date. It's like, it's going to happen tomorrow. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a continuous faith, wisdom, patience, journey. You know what I mean? Just like faith, you know what I mean? We can't, well, depending who you are, you know what I mean? You can't see, people will say that you can't see, you can't touch. So why should I believe? And it's like, if you have lived a crazy life, even Morgan Stewart was talking about this on our podcast, you go through some craziness, you will see those signs, those miracles. And people will say, oh, you're just delulu, you're just, mentally ill. Or it's like, if you have to sit there and talk to me like I'm delulu, you think I'm mentally, that's fine. If that's how you have to see, oh, that's how they get by every day, because, this probably broke them. And it's like, that's fine. If that's how you have to narrate me, I don't even know why my name is even in your mouth. But anyway, it's just like, let me live my life. If that's something you don't resonate with and you don't understand with, that's probably why we're not close. This kind of looks like a keyhole. I'm not even kidding. It's like you're getting knowledge and this is the key. Like, they're saying patience and manifestation, from learning, reflection, and life lessons. Life lessons. Weren't we just talking about that? I love this, and it's not like you have to wear the crown, like, oh, I'm the queen, da 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 da. No, this is like graduation. Embrace growth through challenges and experiences. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. It's like you have to see the silver lining. You have to see the light in this situation. They even have light surrounding, like, in this kind of like, somber, I don't know, destructive kind of energy. But it's just like, Spirit kind of tries to bring up other sides of things, and I'm like, it's not going to make me happier. It's not going to change anything, because it's like, it's been 9 years. It's like, what am I going to do with that? You know what I mean? It's just going to make me sad. So I don't want to know. No offense. Maybe later down the line they'll bring it up again and I'll be open to it, but not right now. No, that's not who I am. You know what I mean? And it's just, I feel like, again, with that stature, with the growth, like confidence, where they show the abundance too. It's just the way that the crows stance, especially right now because they're mating. They're kind of making those big kind of wingspans. destiny. And this is where a lot of this, they said this is the path unfolding till 2042. This is what they're talking about is destiny, following the path that aligns with you. And that's the thing. If none of this aligns with you, then it's like maybe you should scroll on, because I don't need to hear your horky dorky comments about this, that, the other. Like, honestly. Like, I'm going to start doing what other people do. Start being like, screenshotting their comment. Black out their name. But like, you know what I mean? But I'll be like, this is not helpful. This is not desired. Your opinion is not needed or required. Like, you know what I mean? But it's just like, you need to go where your heart is calling you. What is drawn to you. We'll end it on insight. Like, I was supposed to end a bit ago. I think abundance was supposed to be the last card, but then I saw, oh, wasn't there a rejection card? I swear I pulled that card. Anyway, I can't find it now, but insight. Oh, I don't know why I did that, but look at that. Maybe you're moving to a new home there. Gain deeper understanding. I feel like they were trying to give me that understanding, and I'm just like, no offense, but it's just going to make me sad. I don't want to know any other deepness of this. It is what it is. You know what I mean? It's not going to make me happy, so I'm just going to choose to, live the life that I currently am in and enjoy that, They're showing the Wizard of Oz come into the sun. It's like when they're heading out to open, they're heading to Oz. They're heading to where he's staying. So maybe that's what it is. It's like you're, you know what I mean? And this kind of, we're coming into spring, right? With all the flowers, with, hopefully not sleeping. But I feel like rest and rejuvenation. Like when I was pulling this, I felt like that's what they were showing me is like the Four of Swords. And it was just like rest and rejuvenation. So if you are going to get a little respite in here until April 28th, it looks like. So like from now, or maybe this is coming up till April 28th. Write down those dates. If that resonates with you, write down that date. And then I always do put a question mark because it's like, and then I look at, because I write down when things come in. And I'm just like, where were they trying to, maybe dreams but when they call out a date, I'm like, they did this for me with Shane's medical report for the autopsy. And they said the date, and they were like the week, right down to the week. And it may be because when we checked the mail, but it's just like, it's right around the date. But they were like, this date to this date. And they were like, Monday, April, da-da-da-da. And I'm like, okay. And I'm just like, and then I was just like, oh my God, that's what they were telling me, something was coming in, And I had seen Shane walking up the stairs and he looked sad. I'm like, oh my God, why is he sad? I'm like, he should be happy. Like, I don't want him to be sad. You know what I mean? And I think that's what it was, because like, I'm like, kind of reminds me of when I was reading my dad's medical report, like the tears in my eyes, and you're trying to read, but it's like your eyes are so full of tears. Like you can't really, you know what I mean? Like you read enough. You're just like, okay, you know what I mean? For me, I'm like, I haven't had the, I guess courage is the word they're using to read it again. But it's just, like I said, I'm at the point where it's just like, I've made my peace with it and I'm moving forward, and I don't want to know if it's going to make me sad. I don't want to know about it. You know what I mean? Because it's not going to change anything. Like I said, you know what I mean? You just come to a place of acceptance, and it's just like, it still hurts. There's still memories. Like I said, like, we're heading towards Easter, and, seeing all those symbols of my dad yesterday while we were out. It's like, what can you do? You know what I mean? It's just, I'm thankful. And that's what I say to God. I am thankful that I'm allowed to see those signs. Like, there's such significant signs. You know what I mean? And it's like years later, so it's just, that's what we were talking about this, like, in the grief group, like, how they worded it? I can't remember how they worded it, but I was like, temporary separation. I read that 9 years ago in that group. They said the biggest thing you got to remember is this is a temporary separation. And that really gave me a lot of peace. So I feel like it's like where you could find your peace in life, that's where you put your energy. The people, places, things that give you peace. Like if you're trying to, see growth in your abundance, in your wisdom, You know, they're telling you patience as you, you know, try to manifest and live the best life you can. And that's all you can do. 444. So, you know what I mean? Make peace with the situations and move forward. And where you want to grow, keep putting your energy. May the universe bless you good.